I don't know. Maybe Daniel afraid me. I don't know. It just show for me.
Yeah.
People have labelled him and called him a quitter. They've seen what happened in the Joyce fight. Even against you, he finished the fight on his knee. Does he have a weakness?
Little bit, yes. Little bit, yes, because maybe it's a younger guy. Maybe, I don't know. Yeah, but Daniel...
Usyk isn't hinting, he's laying it out plain and brutal. In his eyes, Daniel Dubois will quit again. Not might, not maybe, he will. That same fear, that same weakness, it's still living inside Dubois, and Usyk knows it. He's seen it before, and he's ready to drag him into the deep end again, because when it gets tough, Dubois will take the easy way out. And if that wasn't enough, Usyk looks straight into the camera and says what everyone's thinking but won't admit.
Think he's a better fighter now than he was the first time you fought?
Maybe, yeah, maybe, because a lot of years, 2, 3, yeah. Now I think Daniel grow.
And do you think,
like a boxer, like a man?
yeah, does he deserve this opportunity? Or is there someone else more deserving? Joe Parker maybe, or does Daniel deserve his shot?
Yeah, I think Daniel deserve, because Daniel from UK. It's interesting for all people.
This isn't trash talk, it's a cold execution. Usyk doesn't believe Dubois will go the distance. He knows he won't. He's calling it now. The moment pressure hits, Dubois will crumble again. It's not about skills or strategy, it's about heart. And Usyk's saying loud and clear, Dubois doesn't have it. He quit once, and Usyk's betting everything he'll quit again.
Does he deserve this opportunity? Or is there someone else more deserving? Joe Parker maybe, or does Daniel deserve his shot?
Yeah, I think Daniel deserve, because Daniel from UK. It's interesting for all.
After Usyk ripped him apart and branded him a quitter, Dubois tries to hit back with talk of destruction. But let's be real, this isn't confidence, it's damage control. The pressure's already in his head, and his words sound like a man scrambling to look dangerous. Usyk's icy breakdown rattled him, and now Dubois is bluffing with buzzwords. But when the bell rings, all that talk won't save him. Not against the man who already made him take a knee. Whose side are you on? Drop your predictions in the comments.
Is, you know, clever, smart, but, you know, a dangerous destruction. That's my style, and I can't wait to put it on him. I just can't wait, really. Yeah.
Johnny Nelson says it plain. Usyk thinks, Dubois reacts. That's the difference between champions and challengers. When the pressure rises, Dubois remembers pain. Usyk recalculates. You don't beat someone like that with muscle and motivation alone. Nelson sees growth in Dubois, but not enough to outwit the genius standing across from him. And now it's Tony Bellew's turn, and he brings up a moment Dubois fans won't want to hear about again.
Usyk, he has the ability to think in the ring. Daniel has the ability to remember in the ring. And if you can think in the ring, it means you can change the direction of a fight mid-fight.
Tony Bellew shuts down the excuses. That infamous body shot? Still legal, still clean. And Dubois dropping to his knees? That's on him, not Usyk. Bellew makes it crystal clear, Usyk doesn't cheat, he dominates. Dubois had his chance and folded. A rematch won't erase what already happened, it might just repeat it. Up next, Tyson Fury drops in, and even he sounds unsure whether Dubois can handle Usyk's pressure again.
Punch hard enough, he'll come across a completely different skill set than Oleksandr Usyk. You got to remember he's been in there with him already, and we all know what happened last time.
Yes, true.
I don't want to hear this stuff about low blows. It's called a protector for a reason. If you hit a protector, guess what? It's
Even Fury sounds unsure. His message to Dubois feels more like sympathy than support. Do your best doesn't scream confidence. He knows Dubois hurt Usyk once, but hoping for lightning to strike twice isn't a game plan. It's wishful thinking. Fury's tone says it all. He's not betting on a Dubois miracle.
Who would I rather fight right now? Usyk. Because I want me revenge in England. That's all I want. I want a fair shout. And I don't believe I've got a fair shout the last 2 times. So I don't know.
Joseph Parker doesn't mince words. He's seen Usyk operate up close, and he knows the damage coming Dubois' way. It's not just about power or pressure, it's the method behind the madness. Usyk breaks you in stages, mentally, physically, and emotionally. Parker highlights the one thing Dubois still lacks: adaptability. When you're in the ring with Usyk, he doesn't come out blazing. He slices you apart with movement, angles, and relentless footwork. Dubois can throw bombs, sure, but Usyk won't be there to catch them. By the time Dubois realizes he's in trouble, the breakdown will already be in motion. Parker's tone isn't hopeful, it's definitive. He knows what a real elite fighter looks like, and in his eyes, Usyk is levels above. This isn't just a prediction, it's a warning that Dubois is about to get schooled all over again. And Parker doesn't stop there. He goes further and calls out the jab that exposed Dubois to the world.
I feel like Usyk will be too much for him in terms of fitness, movement, angles, just the way that he can break someone down. I've seen that in the fights that he's had off the top, while the top hit.
Joseph Parker tries to show some fairness here, acknowledging Dubois might have grown, but even that compliment comes with a brutal reminder. This is the same man who got stopped by a jab. That's not an insult, that's boxing history. Parker's tone feels cautious, like even he's tiptoeing around the truth. He knows Dubois can land, but he also knows Usyk is no ordinary opponent. In that body shot debate, Parker calls it low, but you can sense even he's not fully convinced it matters. The point remains, Dubois went down, and the world watched it happen. Growth or not, Parker's eyes are still locked on Usyk as the superior fighter. When a man gets stopped by a jab and then folds again under Usyk's angles, it tells you one thing: no matter how much he's changed, mentally or physically, he still breaks under elite pressure. And Usyk's pressure isn't just elite, it's surgical. And Duke McKenzie sees it too. He believes that no matter what Dubois brings, Usyk will always find the answer.
Who do you see as the more dangerous opponent though? Usyk or Dubois?
I believe Usyk. I believe Usyk is a great fighter. Dubois is a changed fighter from his first fight. But then this is why we had the rematch, to see whether Dubois can overcome what he got stopped with a jab. And he did. A lot of people also questioning the body shot. I think it was a low.
Duke McKenzie hits the nail on the head. This isn't about how much Dubois improves, it's about how much Usyk elevates. That's the trap Dubois' team is walking into. They're banking on progress, forgetting that Usyk's game isn't static. You bring fire, Usyk brings fire and water. He's not aging out, he's not slowing down. In fact, Duke believes he's still sharp, dangerous, and evolving. That's a nightmare for any heavyweight, especially one who's already quit once against this man. The gap between them isn't shrinking, it's shifting, adapting. McKenzie makes it clear this isn't a level playing field. Even at Dubois' best, Usyk has more layers to unfold, and those layers include ring IQ, movement, mental warfare, and an engine that doesn't break. This is what Dubois' camp fails to accept, that even their version 2.0 still falls short against a master who hasn't stopped sharpening his blade. And just when you think someone might back Dubois, McKenzie clarifies one thing: even at his best, he wouldn't dare pick him over Usyk.
I think that what Dubois' team are clearly overlooking is the fact that if Dubois raises his game, then Usyk will raise his game. Usyk isn't shot, he's not over the hill. He's got plenty of miles left on the clock, I believe. And I think whatever Daniel Dubois brings to this fight, Usyk will.
Here's the most brutal compliment Dubois could receive. Duke McKenzie gives him credit, calls him smarter, more seasoned, better balanced, and still says he doesn't stand a chance. That's how wide the gap is between him and Usyk. Against anyone else? Maybe Dubois pulls it off. Against Usyk, it's a no, and that speaks volumes. You can improve your jab, fix your defense, build confidence, but it won't matter when the guy in front of you has already exposed your deepest flaws. Usyk's already broken Dubois once, and Duke knows it'll happen again. He doesn't just say Dubois will lose, he says Dubois can't win, unless Usyk magically disappears from the equation. That's how definitive this is. Duke's trying to be respectful, but the subtext is loud. Dubois has heart, sure, but Usyk holds the keys to that ring, and once they're locked in again, it's only a matter of time before the cracks reappear.
Say, if he was fighting anybody else other than Oleksandr Usyk, I would pick him to win, but what they're
You think
convinced.
he is number 2 heavyweight in the world right now?
Yeah, absolutely.
When Floyd Mayweather calls someone a hell of a fighter, you stop and listen. This is the voice of a man who's mastered the sport on every level, and for him to tip his hat to Usyk speaks volume. Floyd sees something in Usyk that casual fans overlook, not just titles and wins, but a complete fighter forged through years of elite amateur wars and professional precision. And Mayweather isn't hyping him for show. He's acknowledging that Usyk is the real deal, a technician, a thinker, a relentless strategist. Behind the scenes, Usyk's rise wasn't flashy, but it was terrifyingly consistent. He didn't need drama, he let skill do the talking. Dubois doesn't come from that same cloth. He might be powerful, might be explosive, but Floyd knows that's not enough against a master like Usyk. When someone like Mayweather, who's seen it all, calls you special, that's not noise. That's boxing royalty speaking the truth. And that truth? Dubois is walking into a chess match with a grandmaster, and Floyd isn't the only one. Adam Smith goes even further, calling Usyk the best of this entire generation.
It's gonna be hard to beat him. It's gonna be hard to beat Usyk because he's sassy and he outpunched.
Adam Smith doesn't hesitate. Usyk isn't just great, he's the best of this generation. Let that sink in. A man who ruled cruiserweight like a ghost in the ring and then stepped up to heavyweight and made elite giants look confused. He didn't just beat Anthony Joshua once, he dominated him twice. He made it look like routine business. And now, Adam Smith throws the ultimate compliment his way. Not just a champion, but a generational icon. When you've cleaned out divisions, schooled top-tier British heavyweights, and made your dominance look easy, there's nothing left to prove. Except, maybe, to shut down Dubois one more time and silence anyone still holding on to that low blow controversy. Usyk doesn't come to fight, he comes to conquer. Smith sees it, feels it, and says it. When boxing's top voices start using words like best of the generation, that's not hype, it's legacy. And Dubois, he's just the next chapter in Usyk's masterclass. Nothing more, nothing less. But there's one voice who still backs Dubois, Dave Allen, and even he sounds like he's hedging his bets.
Oleksandr Usyk is the best fighter in boxing, period. Of this generation, what he's done at cruiserweight, what he's done at heavyweight, what he's done to all the other British fighters, to do the double over AJ, the double over...
Dave Allen's backing Dubois here, or at least trying to. He calls him dangerous, hints that this version of Dubois might finally be ready to bring chaos into the ring. But even in his voice, there's hesitation, a pause. Because deep down, Allen knows what everyone else knows. Being dangerous isn't enough when you're facing Usyk. You can't just show up swinging and hope something lands. You need finesse, IQ, and mental firepower. Allen talks like a fan who wants to believe, but knows the odds. And let's be real, Dubois didn't just lose to Usyk, he folded. Now Allen's clinging to the hope that time and toughness have transformed him, but against Usyk, evolution has to be perfect. There's no margin for error. Allen's trying to talk it into reality, but this isn't a fairy tale. Usyk is still Usyk, that same scary machine, that same puzzle no one solved. And Dubois, no matter how dangerous, is walking straight back into the eye of the storm.
Yeah, it was scary. But I do think now, this is caught up now as well. Right. So I think he's going to be a dangerous man against Usyk this time.
Everything we've seen, heard, and broken down leads to one undeniable truth. Oleksandr Usyk lives in a different dimension of boxing. From the cold confidence in his voice to the way legends like Floyd Mayweather and Adam Smith speak his name, it's clear we're not dealing with just another champion. We're witnessing a generational force. Meanwhile, Daniel Dubois is walking into this rematch carrying the weight of a narrative he's never been able to shake, that he quits when it gets tough. Usyk hasn't forgotten what happened last time, and based on everything he said, he fully expects Dubois to crumble again. And here's where things get dangerous. Dubois might have improved, but Usyk evolves in real time. You raise your game and he elevates higher. You throw bombs and he's already disappeared from range. This isn't just a physical test, it's mental warfare, and Usyk owns that battlefield. Even those backing Dubois sound unsure, hesitant, aware of what awaits. So now the pressure's boiling. If Dubois stuns the world, he flips the script of his entire career. But if Usyk does what Usyk Usyk always does, dissect, break, dismantle, then the quitter label won't just stick, it'll become permanent. This is more than redemption, it's a final judgment. So the real question is, are you standing with the master of movement and mind, or do you believe the underdog has one last war left in him? Drop your thoughts below, Team Usyk or Team Dubois?